what inspired you to start making clubs on your own? Because it must have been like, how did you even learn?
This timber, there's $500 worth of timber there. Really sort of, it's very nice working with wood. I mean, I like the sort of feel of it. And you learn lessons also. So believe me, there's nothing better than actually finishing a pair of clubs in here, walking out there and swinging them straight. I mean, it's like for a freshly cooked dinner. Everything you've seen at home and you've swung today has basically come out of here.
The flowing Dutchman, yeah, shuffle on the production, like this, yeah, like this, yeah. The flowing Dutchman, yeah, the flowing Dutchman.
I had to load them, drill into back here and load them with lead shot to give them the correct weight. Because she wanted them to be about 8-9 pounds. So they actually weigh that, but I mean, a wooden meal would not be that sort of weight.
No, with this size.
With that sort of size, and I mean, basically with the design that we decided for her was the like a S and Z spiral on the meal. So I mean, they're both in opposite directions. Yeah, a bit like the clubs, a bit like the striped clubs, really.
That's nice.
Yeah, no, she wanted me to sign them, so basically sign them, but they're looking okay. I've just got to finish them off now, cut them off. So cut that off, and finish the ends, and basically they'll be ready to pack and send. But they've dried up nice. I just wanted to see, because sometimes when you varnish them, because you like to use a varnish like that, and you varnish them, the varnish can collect. But I've managed to wipe it off so it hasn't collected there. No, so we're good. I'll finish.
These are made of multiple parts, eh? This is a
yes,
bar?
yeah, because you can't really. I mean, okay, so if you have a look at the timber that I've got down here, that's a solid piece of timber there, and that one was there, and I'm preparing these now to turn. But this timber, there's $500 worth of timber there. You know, you can't afford. I mean, those two clubs there were $240 worth of timber. You know, and I mean, I charge her $400 for making them, and it's $250 to ship them to the States. So it's an $800 pair of clubs.
Wow.
So it's like you were saying in Holland it's very expensive. Well, it's very expensive, but it's here too. And frequently I go to, if you have a look through here, down there, you can see where I've marked the timber. That I go to a demolition yard and buy timber that's been, this brown timber, a lot of my clubs at home are made from this, is a local timber called jarrah, which is a eucalypt. Jarrah is a Aboriginal name again. It's a eucalypt, and it has like a sap to it, but it makes, I mean, it's very, very dense and heavy, and by that I mean that the growth rings, it's a slow growing tree, so the growth rings are really close together.
Are those the clubs that are on the wall?
Yeah, they're all, the deep brown clubs are all jarrah. Yeah, it's a beautiful timber.
Yeah, and it's also cheaper than the...
Well, no, I mean, basically, if I can buy it second hand, and I mean, I was explaining to you yesterday, in that hotel that we were walking past, they've got that the sort of extension over the road. Well, private houses had that, and the pillars that supported those extensions were made from jarrah. And often, for instance, if houses are old, the houses get knocked down, and what's called the pergola, which is a sunshade technically, is they have the 4x4 heavy duty jarrah, and I can quite often buy it fairly cheaply, so that it doesn't make the clubs ridiculously cheap. But it's still cheap enough that it can make a reasonable club, and with a lot of detail, it's worth the money. You know.
That's true. So, what inspired you to start making clubs on your own? Because it must have been like, how did you even learn this?
I did it at school when I was a kid. When I was in England at school, we had a wood lathe and metal lathes, and I learned to use both in those days.
So
then I realised that I can do this because I found a wood turner here in Perth he was 82, and he was sort of interested in it. He was interested in doing the first set of clubs that I showed you, the long ones and the sort of meal-like looking clubs and the mugdas, the 4 sets. And he made those, and that was really it. He didn't want to be bothered with it anymore, but he actually invited me to come to his workshop and watch him. then it was the penny dropped. I could do this, you know. So, and then slowly I started buying the machinery, and I found a chap on the local sort of, you know, marketplace, and I bought one of the lathes here. Bought the drill, brought the bandsaw, and then gradually, you know, bought other equipment and you know, various saws and stuff, and you know, set this up.
There are more gadas over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
10 kilos and 14 and 2 7s.
You also make those here, with the concrete.
Yeah, no, I make them all here. Everything's made here. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
This one is a cool club.
No, so this is how I shape the. So this is the jarrah before it's varnished, and the stepping here is really important because, and this is how I take the information from a paper template like this, transfer it onto the wood, and then make sure that both clubs are the same. So I always work with both, looking at both clubs together. So I mean, you know, obviously a visual check, but then you use a caliper to double check that both clubs are the same. Yeah.
Right,
So I mean, you know, I'll have this for the first club. I'll have this one mounted here, and I'll transfer all the measurements for each one of these steps, and then basically on the new club I'll pencil in all those, and then I'll use basically a chisel like this, and I'll shave all these steps off.
So this is not actually going to be a club.
No, this is a template.
This is template.
This is a template.
Right. Interesting.
So I mean, I make quite a lot of these, so it's worth making. So I mean, this position here is where the guard is.
Yep.
Obviously, that's the handle. There's the pommel. That comes off. This bit comes off at the end. So you know, and that's the template for the quijos.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's.
It's a nice little unit, hey?
Yeah. No, it's not. I really enjoy working here. I mean, it's nice, sort of. It's really sort of. It's very nice working with wood. I mean, I like the sort of feel of it, and you learn lessons also. So why have I got blue here? Because when I first start cutting, the amount of crap that comes off, it flies off everywhere. So you know, you wear a face shield, and I transfer this one over here to stop everything flying in here. Yeah. So it just lands on the floor, and then I sweep it up.
Yeah, you're very organized and also smart, Paul. That's what I'm figuring out as we go. It's so cool to see this. This is
it's interesting to see. I mean,
it can be a meditative experience.
Yeah.
Just like
and I mean, there's nothing. I believe me, there's nothing better than actually finishing a pair of clubs in here, walking out there and swinging them straight. I mean, it's like for freshly cooked dinner. You know. it's that sort of feeling when you walk out. So yeah, no, that's what I wanted to show you.
Yeah,
so, you know.
Amazing. Well, thanks for showing me.
That's
awesome. Yeah, second time I've seen a club workshop, and well, who knows? I'll be creating clubs myself at one point.
There's you know, wall racks ready to be put up. So I mean, they just need.
Those are for you.
Yeah, they eventually for me. Or I mean, my son's got a few clubs at his place, so I might he might put them in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's to make patterns for clothing. And so, you know, then I thought, well, you know, you've got the central axis which the club spins on. You've got to give these measurements and mark this out. So if you have a look at this, so this is my master, and there's a keyhole there. Look. But I mean, so you know, you can have a look at that together with this. And you can see how the club forms, and you know, all these like notches or cuts in here match various points. These ones obviously have been removed, but this would have been stepped like the template that I showed you originally, and then I cut the steps off and smoothed it out. Yeah,
that's so cool.
In fact, I mean that I'm not going to be able to get that one down, but this is the teardrop pattern, the ones that you were swinging earlier on today. That's the patterns for those. Yeah, so Everything you've seen at home and you've swung today has basically come out of here.
It's incredible. The axes as well, right?
Yeah, no, I meant the axes, yeah. No, the axes are they're my production. And you know, I basically, what I did with that was I took a photograph of Tom Burrows and then measured the distance to get the length of the axe. I measured the distance of his forearm against mine. Worked out the distance from there to the wrist and his hand, and then blew it up in Photoshop and got the pattern that way.
That's cool.
So translated it completely off an old photo, really.
Yeah, I think this is one of the only ways to actually get this many clubs, because it's very expensive to do.
Oh god, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, because I mean, you know, for an average club, I would charge, depending on what's done to it, about 300, 350 US.
Yeah.
And people do buy them. I mean, I don't really go out of my way to sell them, but sometimes people ask me for them, and I make them. I've got an order, new orders just come in the last couple of days for a pair of clubs. So yeah, I mean, they're not cheap, but I mean, you know, they're going to last you forever and a day.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That was awesome. Seeing the workshop here, and it's good. It's very different than if you're just watching, you know, the videos and actually being here. It's just a very nice feeling to it.
Those big meals that you were showing earlier on today,
Yeah.
they're very big ones. We don't make them here.
We make them here. Wow. Incredible.
So they went through the whole stage. I should know. Yeah, I pulled them out of here. I swung them here.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Always wanted to have a solid foundation for your heavy club work? Look no further. Heavy Club 101 is designed to teach you the absolute fundamentals of a heavy club, also known as a mukdar, a clubbell, a bulava, or a short gada. It will teach you fundamental presses, pulls, hip thrust, swings, and flows. After completing Heavy Club 101, the path towards mastery of the heavy clubs will be revealed. Will I see you on the other side? Join now on DutchFlowAcademy.com.
Boom! Thank you for your attention. It's greatly appreciated. If you like the content, please consider to share, like, and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see similar videos, you can see them over here. If you're interested in learning more from me as a coach, I've got online courses on DutchFlowAcademy.com. Keep flowing. Ram Ram.